I got involved when Ridley mentioned this project whilst we were doing his previous film this year, which was The Last Duel. We were just coming up to finishing that project, and Ridley mentioned that he'd like me to score this movie. Now, I'd seen that he was about to go off and shoot it, so I was really hoping he'd say, would you like to do it? And indeed he did. And he said at that point, it's going to be kind of interesting musically. So that's kind of like a red rag to a bull. When I saw his first cut of the film, I was really blown away with the characterizations on screen. But I was also a little perplexed as to where I was going to fit into this, since there are a lot of needle drops, what we call needle drops in this movie. So a lot of existing songs and very little score. Where there was score, or where Ridley and I decided there should be score, I was going to be super important. But unlike, say, a movie like The Martian that we did together, there must have been 90 minutes of score in that. In this movie, not at all that volume of music. So it was a question of finding how I would fit into the musical picture overall. So it was quite obvious to begin with, once I'd heard here was a Blondie song, here was a David Bowie song, here was some opera, there's a little bit of jazz in there. So there's a lot of flavor to the soundtrack. And my in really was the emotional pull between the two main characters, which is quite flirtatious, quite casual to begin with. And then Patricia gets her claws into him a little bit deeper, and things get a bit more interesting. My job really with the music was to tap into the connection between the two main characters. And quite often scoring a film like this, one would be scoring, maybe have some themes for some of the peripheral characters. On this occasion, that wasn't necessary for me. It was more from the point of view of Maurizio and Patricia. The score, the concept for the score wasn't that it would sound like a piece of Italian music. Again, the characterization of Patricia as someone who starts very much as someone who falls in love and then starts to get a handle on the business and the money involved. So the score charts that progress of the emotion between those two and how it goes off the rails ultimately. Lady Gaga's fantastic, but she's not the only one who's fantastic. The cast is really amazing. You'd have to say that Al Pacino was born to play the part he plays. I mean, he's Pacino. I can only imagine he has some roots in Italy. And as we covered, Jared Leto is a complete hoot. And Adam Driver is solid, man. It's really great. And it was great fun for me to see him on screen